Yeah, we're going to play Wheel of Facebook comments in a minute. We haven't played that in a while. I was having some fun on the Alan Cox Show Facebook page last night. And so we'll go through some of those shortly. But a half an hour from now, I'll have that last pair of tickets for you to get to Tears for Fears. They went on sale this morning at 10 a.m. If you go to livenation.com, the details will be there. But I have one more pair to give away. Tears for Fears and Garbage are going out next year. And May 21, they'll go to Blossom. So if you've been trying to get your mitts on those, about a half an hour from now, last day for you to go fund yourself. So make sure you're listening for each and every one of these keywords, because I think the 9 o'clock hour tonight is your last chance to grab $1,000. Next week, we're only here Monday and Tuesday because of the holiday, but I will have tickets for you to get to the Atreyu show at the end of the month at the Agora. Clutch, finally going to get to do their 30th anniversary tour. That'll be at the Agora on December 29th. And $50 to Legacy Village. I bet $50 goes less far at Legacy Village than it might elsewhere. You think that's safe to say?
It's depends on how you spend it. I'm sure you can find. You might be able to walk out of there with 50 items if you go to the right store.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The Container Store, is that out there?
I don't know. Also a store I've never been to.
Never been to the Container Store?
No, never. I mean, I've ordered stuff from there, but I've never been inside one.
I thought that I had an appointment on the east side for something about 6 months ago. And I thought, this is a great, because I never get over the east side. It's a great opportunity for me to go into the Container Store. Because I'm like, this is right up my alley, the Container Store. I'm so type A, and I'm so fastidious with storage and things like that, everything in its place. I'm like, this is going to be my heaven. And I walk into the Container Store, and I'm so immediately and unbelievably overwhelmed that I do a lap and I leave.
What is...
empty-handed.
It's just boxes, right?
Well, it's containers of every kind. Containers for things that you probably don't need containers for. But they're not lying to you. They tell you on the front of the building, this is the Container Store. So things that you've probably never even considered they're just making up containers for you to put things in.
Well, I hope they have one for my excitement.
It's a very, very small one. Yes, it's right as you walk in. It's in their impulse aisle. But I was so overwhelmed that I couldn't even, because a lot of times you'll go into a store with nothing in mind, and I didn't go there with an idea in mind. But I thought, surely I'll walk out with something.
You'll find some sort of container.
Yes, because I'll find.
I never thought I could find a container for that. And I went to the Container Store, and boom,
there
had
it was.
Just the container.
Yep, a container for all of my toothbrush handles.
Those are worth saving. if you save them, it means they're not in a turtle's butt.
Yeah, I guess so. A turtle's butt? A toothbrush?
Yeah, that's one of those things that I don't know if it gets in their butt, but
I've seen them pulling straws out of their noses.
Yeah,
I've never seen a toothbrush in a turtle's butt. Not saying it doesn't happen.
Then, brother, you haven't lived.
I guess so. You see the Astro World lawsuits are piling up?
I haven't seen that, but I figured they would be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all class action lawsuits now. So Travis Scott, Drake, who was another organizer of this, Live Nation, Apple, basically anyone involved with Astro World is being considered a defendant now in these class action lawsuits. And I think there are 2 concurrent class action lawsuits. One of them is for, the one they announced first was for $750 million. And because just lawyers are just drooling over this Astro World. They're like, yeah, sure, it's a tragedy. But here's what we can do. And an attorney in Texas on Thursday, because this happened in Houston. An attorney in Texas yesterday filed a $2 billion lawsuit on behalf of 282 victims. Now, here's the thing. 9 people died, 10 people died. So obviously, those families of people who died are going to want to have some kind of restitution, or they're going to want to have their day in court. But when you have people piling on, going, "Hey, I got hurt. I mean, I got pushed. I had a strained ankle. 282. They call them 282 victims. So, I mean, obviously a show like this is where you get into the weeds, is they're going to paint with a really, really broad brush. Again, it helps to have a billionaire baby mama, but, they're going to have to settle because that's all these people want. They just want, they're like, give me some money. So they're going to eventually have to settle for some exorbitant amount of money.
Of course.
Drake's getting pulled into this now. I mean, not pulled into it. He was one of the organizers. This particular lawsuit seeks up to $2 billion in damages from a long list of defendants. Travis Scott and Drake. Basically, anybody who had even a whiff of a fingerprint on this festival is getting sued. The lawyer said his clients range in age from their teens to their 40s. So maybe Drake's going to have to sell that giant compound in downtown Toronto.
I think he'll be okay.
Injuries ranging from heart attacks to heart issues to brain injuries to spinal injuries to broken bones, broken legs, eye injuries, internal organs. So basically anybody who filled out a hospital report. And he said, and of course a lot of people with emotional injuries, and that's where the money is the emotional injuries.
Oh, I thought the money's more for the physical injuries. Or I guess if you lost a loved one, then you can ask for a lot of money.
Some of the plaintiffs in this case are people who are suing for trauma because they had to step over dead bodies. They didn't have a choice. They didn't know where to move. People were trapped. And of course, they're throwing all this. They're saying, oh, Travis Scott has had a history of this at his shows before, where he's like, it ain't a party until somebody gets hurt, that kind of stuff. That's not going to age well when they can flash your tweets on a screen. That's not going to be good for you. But $2 billion.
This scares the hell out of me, man. We just got concerts back.
Right?
Well, it's weird because any act that plays in front of a lot of people, you see those European festivals where there's 100,000 people. Somehow they figure out how to do it. But that would make me nervous if I was an artist playing in front of that many people. Because when you're up there, probably all these guys heard it was cha-ching. But then something goes south, and you're in the weeds.
Man.
Yeah. So, anyway.
I have such grief and guilt, man. I found VHS tapes of my old band and our homemade pyro. And that scares the hell out of me to see those back. I thought it would look all sweet.
Like Great White style pyro, low ceilings. And
yeah, man. Yeah. It was, and I don't remember club owners even batting an eye. And the fact that we built that crap at home and I'm the one running it.
Well, nobody ever bats an eye until some people get hurt or killed.
That bothers me.
Well, yeah. Hopefully there are fewer and fewer places that are going to... after that Great White thing, there wasn't any club. Everybody was going over their venues with a fine-tooth comb.
You light a cigarette and you're bounced out right after Great White. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Man, I know they're not completely related. We routinely draw 250,000 people, so, it's kind of the same.
Speed Rail does, yeah.
Yeah.
You get 250,000 people. Nothing wrong with that. Interplanet Janet. Everybody's filling in the gaps for me on Schoolhouse Rock, the ones that I forgot. Remember Hanker for a Hunk of Cheese? Remember the mouse?
Yes.
Hanker for a slice of cyber chunka, hanker for a hunk of cheese.
I do remember that one.
Yeah.
That was Schoolhouse Rock?
Part of it, I think, yeah.
Huh. What are they teaching us?
I think that was probably the propaganda from the dairy industry.
Okay.
Yeah. Big dairy. Blind Melon covered 3 as the magic number, a bunch of people are telling me.
That's
there
probably
you
when
go.
I heard that, yeah.
Do you want to play Wheel of Facebook comments?
Of course I do.
Okay.
What goes up must come down. Spinning wheel, got to go round. Time to spin the wheel. The wheel of iHeartRadio, Cleveland Radio, listener, Facebook comments, yeah.
Right, so I'm on Facebook last night, and I see the WMMS Facebook account posted the story that Rover re-signed at WMMS. Good news.
Great news. Congratulations.
And so somebody, and I give it a like, somebody comments, Good, Rover is cool, but can y'all cancel Alan Cox, please? Go back to playing music again. And somebody else goes, Cox Show sounds rehearsed and awful. So I screenshot it because I think it's funny. And I post it at our Facebook page.
We are not rehearsed.
Somebody needs to punch up my script in here.
Corey, shut up.
Well,
So I post it and I go, how am I supposed to memorize my lines for tomorrow's show with these kinds of distractions, right? Just goofing around, funny. And of course, listen, everybody dives in, right? A lot of people didn't like that. And that's my favorite kind of person. Easily offended and desperate for attention is a great combination for people. And so the comments, and a couple people I'll kind of go back, not back and forth. I leave one comment if I feel like it, and then, you know.
But then there's a bunch of comments after.
Yeah, they'll just end up arguing with themselves or somebody else and blah, blah, blah.
Who's got that time, man?
I don't know either. So I'm sifting through looking for the negative comments because those are the ones that are more entertaining. I used to love listening, but your tangents on vaccines have got to stop. Tangents on vaccines. And I said, well, tangents are a vaccine side effect. Please have some compassion. She didn't like that.
That's pretty funny. Wait, she didn't like that?
No, she didn't like that.
That's a pretty funny line.
Where's another one? There's a lot of good ones, too, but those are less entertaining.
Well, that was a fun game.
Sorry, I'm just going down. I mean, there are a lot more.
Yeah.
No, I didn't print them up. The best thing about the Alan Cox Show is the commercials. That's David Lingler.
I agree with that because that's what gets us paid.
Paid! And then Ronnie Delizio said 100%. He co-signed. Let's see. Hate the show, somebody else says. So somebody hates the show. But I couldn't tell if they were...
How dare they?
Oh, right. Bring back the Bob and Tom show. Hey, there you go.
You can't even do that. I mean, Bob
Alan
and Tom
Cox,
show's not even the Bob and Tom show anymore.
Right. Alan Cox is pretend highbrow lefty comedy in a red state. And I said, jokes on you, I'm ambidextrous. And he don't like that either. Alan Cox is too political, T.O., and push the jab too hard. Should really stick to news and not pushing your own views and agenda on your listeners. To this person, science is my agenda.
How dare you? How dare you want people to not be sick? What kind of a jerk wants people to just...
You know what kind of jerk I am.
Yeah, the kind that wants people to not be sick.
I listen until you talk and then turn it off. I'm a proud member of the Blacklist. Oh, okay, that's a good one. I don't like that. Loved the show, and this is Nathan Lang. Loved the show until it took a super sharp turn onto the let's push this vaccine and masks.
I feel like this is one person with 7 accounts.
who would ever do that?
There's a lot of people who think you don't need somebody making... There are plenty of people who have that opinion. Having pessimistic views on anything remotely different than being... Let's talk of nothing... blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Pessimistic views on what?
Having pessimistic views on anything remotely different is what this person says. I have a pessimistic view on people needlessly dying, if that's what you're talking about.
But that's also...
I'm not quite sure what they're...
Pretty vague.
Yeah.
Like, you can't... Like, pessimistic view on... I don't...
Some days you guys have a show that holds my interest, other days not so much. I think it's mostly because I really can't relate to a lot of your content. See, that's just like, that's not positive or negative. That's almost like that's an admission or like a confession of something. So I'm kind of bummed out by that.
Well, what can we do to... Is that maybe one of the people that goes fishing? And
Maybe.
then maybe...
I don't know.
You'll be able to connect with him once you go to a fishing expo.
I stopped listening to the Cox Knows Everything, Why Even Argue show. Maybe it got better. Maybe it got worse. Don't listen, so I have no idea. All I know is good old Cox is a DB. I'm a decibel? Or is that douchebag? Is that shorthand for douchebag?
I'm guessing in this situation...
I like people who allegedly don't listen, leave a long comment.
Well, you have a lot of non-listening listeners. That's
I don't want non-listening listeners. I want listening listeners.
No, but what I mean is they listen, but they say they don't listen. That's what
well,
I mean.
if they say they don't, I believe them. I mean, maybe they used to and they don't.
But then a lot of times they know things that have happened recently. I'm like, oh, we got a guy that calls all the time. He's like, I don't listen to the show, but I hate Bill because he's wearing Guardian stuff. And it's like, that happened today.
Right. Alan Cox Show sucks. They all parade around jerking each other off and making a show of it. And Alan portraying his intelligence, geez. And F Poundcake and whoever he's cornholing. F Alan for letting it be part of his show. And I just wrote back, the jerking off parade canceled because I didn't get the proper permits. And he didn't like that either.
That also seems like someone that might be somewhat upset with Poundcake over something that's not even really has to do with the show.
I see.
Like something like something he was born a certain way and that guy doesn't like it.
Right.
Left-handed. That's it, right?
Well, Alan's left-handed. And I don't like him for that. That's the devil's hand.
The stranger.
Right. The stranger. Yeah. Alan, you haven't sent me my script yet for my phone call tomorrow. Yeah, there you go. Both Alan and Rover suck. Well, that's a bummer. I mean, white trash in the morning and fake-ass wannabe progressive NPR radio in the afternoon.
I don't think we want to be NPR radio whatsoever.
I stopped listening to the radio as soon as I had a vehicle that supported Bluetooth. I don't miss either of you. I mean, listen, there's a lot of good stuff here.
I just don't understand the people that take the time to comment on this stuff. I mean, I'm glad you enjoy it. These people just make no sense to me. Where you see something...
I like to know where people are coming from.
You're like, I'm not interested in this. Let me tell you why I'm not interested in this.
Right.
Like, if you're really not interested in it...
Well, people are lonely.
You don't comment on it.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I treat things I don't enjoy.
You and I wouldn't, but, you know...
All right. But we're, phony liberal NPR wannabes.
That is true.
We would whisper more if that were the case, by the way.
More monotone. Mm-hmm. I stopped listening when Poundcake became a regular. Someone poisoned the water hole.
Some homophobes.
Water hole. Phil Hendry is better than you guys. That's absolutely true. Phil Hendry is amazing.
I don't know who Phil Hendry is.
Yeah. The Alan, here, I can't believe it took this long. The Alan Cox Show. Joke's on you. Both of those are misspelled. ALLENCUCK.
Maybe that's a show that he likes. Who's Phil Hendry?
I don't even know if he's on terrestrial radio anymore. He might be just doing podcasts, but he was like, he does characters, and I mean, it's hard to describe. He was on LA radio for a long time. F them both. Rarely listen to the Alan Cox Show. My least favorite character is Alan. He's a very arrogant know-it-all. That's a compliment. I take arrogant as a compliment. And know-it-all, that's so nice. Thank you. I'm not that bright, but to call me a know-it-all, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Feels like you always say that you're not that bright, and they say that you know it all.
The truth has got to be somewhere in there.
Somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in there. I still can't believe Alan is just now trying a McDonald's McRib.
No, that's the comment I wanted. Of all these comments, that's the one that I love the most. That's all just like in a huff, like, can't believe you just now ate the McRib.
Yeah, that's right.
It's been around forever.
Yeah. Maxwell was 100 times better than that dick bag Alan Cox. Want to know who has a great talk show? Mike Trevisano. Oh, boy. We need to tell.
Somebody's going
Sir,
to be sad.
you clearly haven't listened down the hall recently either. A lot of these are like...
Trevisano's ghost is getting busy. He knocked that sign down today.
It was a girder murder.
Trevisano girder.
Uh-huh. Why did the live stream get killed? I mean, I feel like you're on your way out. Apparently someone took that as a signal that that bad things are afoot at the Circle K because of the...
I wish people would...
Well, anyway.
Check the website or listen and pay attention.
Listen, people are busy. They got stuff to do, right?
We're posting 9 videos a day. on the same YouTube channel that the live stream was on.
Yeah.
Check them out.
So anyway, thank you for everybody who commented there. You gave me a good larf.
What goes up must come down. Spinning wheel, got to go round. Time to spin the wheel. The wheel. iHeartRadio, Cleveland Radio, listener, Facebook comments, yeah.
I've got Tears for Fears tickets for you after the break. They went on sale this morning, so you'll get the last pair that I've got to give to you. Tears for Fears in Garbage on the road next spring. That will get them to Blossom in May. And another $1,000 for you. Listen to that keyword. Your last few are upon you today, since we're ending Go Fund Yourself this round tonight. So another keyword for you coming around 5:30. We'll be back.